I love how there's a how-to for anything. I mean, there's a how-to right here for how to make a crop circle. That sort of takes some of the mystery out of that, doesn't it? Happy Tuesday to you all, and welcome to UcanTuesdays. Today I'll be making what apparently is called the Galaxy shirt. It's a shirt that looks like the galaxy. Okay, so here we are with a shirt and a bowl of loosely measured bleach water, because measuring today is for nerds. It says there's an optional step to make a star cluster at the center, but that you don't have to if you don't want to. I go all the way. I don't go halfway on anything, except when I do, which is often, but not now. The moment you realize you don't really understand what's going on. Well, this needs to dry for a couple minutes at least, I think, if I understand what's going on right now correctly. While that happens, I have some notes that were left to me by one of my friends. First on the list we have a picture of a plunger with a face. Viva! Next we have a picture of what appears to be a skull. Oh, but it says, this is a mushroom, not a skull. Followed quickly by Miles Davis ain't got no chutzpah for no chakra. Psych! Psych is, of course, outlined in squiggly lines so that it pops out. When Gotham is in ashes, then I'll allow you to subscribe. I don't know what that one's about. It's probably just some shameless plugging for my channel here, which you should subscribe to. Bing! Did you catch that? Were you able to click it? Because if you weren't, go back and click it. Next step. We're gonna wash up some laundry. Back in the olden days, we used to have to wash laundry in a bucket and dry it on some kind of rack thing. You can just say, I made a t-shirt once, so... I kind of want to put it in the oven so it dries totally, but that's also a terrible plan. Turns out that I do have fabric paint, which is really pretty good because my original plan was to use mustard. It's yellow and it never comes out of fabric, right? I was instructed, also by the same friend on those notes, that I should tell you the story of when I almost died. In Florida, there are these natural springs. They are freezing cold. They're beautiful. They're just... It's a lake or a pond. The water comes up from a natural spring in a cave at the bottom, which is 40 feet down. This particular one has a cave at the bottom so deep, no one has ever gone to the bottom of it. Down inside the cave, there are translucent eels that are completely blind because they live in total darkness. And they just... eels. On this day, I learned something very interesting about myself. When I go swimming in very cold water, my body freezes. Swim out to the middle over the opening of the cave. You may be ahead of me. Shivering becomes like shaking. Until finally I go... And there I am. Looking down at a giant hole from which no one has ever seen the bottom, and thinking, well, there's always a first. And then my life was saved by one word. Eels. Nope! So what's the moral of the story? Eels are creepy? I'm gonna have to leave it overnight. Which means I'm gonna have to pick this back up in the morning. What has science done? Waiting! Finally finished. Yeah, it looks exactly like the cosmos. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I think it only looks like the part of the galaxy occupied by this shirt. Oh, hold on. It's a running joke. It looks like a rainbow Appaloosa.
The appley bits, and then you got these over here. See them? They're like the spotted bits on the Appaloosa.
We are done.
The shirt is exactly how it's going to be, and it still says something clever, and it still has spots, and I'm happy with it, and I am sinking. So until next week, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no.
Hello, this is Daylon of the future, and I've come to give you an important message. Do you know what would have stayed in the cloth better than paint? Or at least the paint that I used? It's value time, y'all.